Hello everyone, my name is Jenny Burak, and Metatron asked me to make a video today, not too long, but just to bring some words of encouragement, some uplifting words, and because there's a lot of sadness today. I know a lot of people are worried, concerned about what's happening on the planet. The Arctic's been on fire for months, and now the Amazon rainforest, which are like the lungs of the planet, the farmers there believe that they have the backing of the government, is what Metatron is saying, in deforestation. And you know, we've got to grow. I think it's 90% of the world's cereal crops go to raise beef, raise cattle, for humans to consume. It's not sustainable, and but that's why they're burning the forests, because they need money. And so another manifestation of the values of our current state of affairs. So what I posted on Facebook and what he's been telling me to share with you is that Archangel Sandalphon was saying that beneath the places where the earth is burned, beneath the scorched earth, are vibrant, thriving roots that belong to those trees, and that life continues to grow. And he's saying that there's no challenge in that life coming up from the earth then and sprouting new trees. And so if we can just imagine those places that we see, Siberia, the Arctic, and the Amazon rainforest, if we can see and imagine and let ourselves be filled with hope, is what Sandalphon is saying, for the new growth that's coming for the earth, the transformation and growth coming for the earth, and also that's happening for each of us individually as well, in different times and in different ways, but still on its way. Okay, so I wanted to say a little bit about that. I could post the post that I made for Facebook on the community page here on YouTube as well, just so that you have a visual for if you want to see it, as it will be after the fires. So I pulled a few cards for us. So we're coming to the end. I've started this video a few times, so I forgot. I forget what I've said. So I was saying that we're at the last degree of Leo. The sunshine that you see now is the last that will come for us for the Leo season of 2019. And so I thought it might be nice and helpful for all of us to just have another infusion of the sun at the solar plexus, our power center, and some of that strength that we pull from the sun during not just during Leo season, but that's where the sun is in his home during Leo season. But we can always use a dose of strength, right? And hope and encouragement. So I think we're going to do that first, actually. So if you want to just close your eyes and take a deep cleansing breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. I want you to see Archangel Metatron standing before you. He's offering you a fresh infusion of life force energy, placing a solar star, is what he's saying. It looks like the sun. Placing the strength of that into your solar plexus. You can feel that taking hold there in your power center, in your core, radiating out from your center, moving through your body, through all of your chakras, clearing away the grief, sorrow, and the sadness for the loss of life that all of us are feeling. You could say yes. Sweeping all of the clouds and the debris away from your space, giving you fresh hope. He's pouring into each of our spaces the rays, the green ray, the blue ray, and the yellow ray. So peace, happiness, and heart-centered healing. Asking each of us to remember that within our hearts, we hold the courage of a lion. And he's placing drops of sunshine into each of our hearts. And he's saying, be emboldened and blaze your trail. And he's saying that there is no reason to ever fear what is coming next, that your soul has the agenda, and that your soul is content. We'll just ask for anyone who is feeling any discontent or any fear. If you just want to say yes to that being released, go ahead and say yes. And then we're going to ask for a feeling of contentment to fill us. Feel that moving down through all of your chakras. Allowing you to feel what it means from the Creator's perspective to be satisfied with yourself and with your current situation, no matter what it is. Understanding that happiness is ours in each situation. It only is dependent on whether or not we choose to view the world from that space of joy and contentment. All right, so I pulled some cards. I wanted this to be on the short side so that it uploads quickly. So this is, here, it's easier to do it this way. Alana Fairchild's The Sacred Rebels Oracle. And I pulled 4 cards. So we're going to read those, and then there was the 5th card at the bottom of the deck. So for the first card, we have Spirals of Manifestation. Can you guys see that okay? Spirals of Manifestation. Okay, somebody said once, this video would be so much better if you were looking at the camera, but I can't. I'm pretty psychic, I am, but I cannot read pages with the book closed. So I need to open the book and read it. The creative, rebellious path of love moves in spirals. It is not linear. Sometimes our minds decide that the way forward is to take clear steps from one point to the next logical point. However, there is a genius within that can guide us on an alternative route. If there is an unnecessary pothole or delay in the typical linear path of progression, and the curved loop in the path will be quicker, more fun, and more beautiful, then why not allow yourself to be guided to that path? This can happen through trust and wisdom rather than rigid adherence to what on the surface appears to be logical progression. You are in the midst of a spiral manifestation. Something is coming into being, even if you think it is further away than ever before. How amazing it will seem when what you have been dreaming of falls into place. Suddenly, what you have been thinking of creating will plunk into your reality, seemingly out of nowhere because it was just around the bend, just out of view on the spiral of manifestation, and you could not see it coming. In truth, it was coming to you all along. This oracle has a message for you. Sometimes when we feel the furthest away from what we want, we are actually closer than ever before. Just one turn on the spiral loop of creation can see your manifestation taking root in the world. You must hold true to your faith and keep working on your progress. Forget about believing it when you see it. Any old soul or young soul can do that. You are an ancient soul and you have the chutzpah to believe it so that you can see it sooner, bigger, and brighter. So, and then remember too that your life path is unfolding in harmony with the paths of others. You will meet with each other for the greatest benefit when you trust in the flow of the one great creative spiral on which this galaxy spins. Everything is ultimately in harmony with everything else to fulfill the great big creative intent of the supreme creative force of love. You indeed are a part of that. So, this, I think he's speaking to the fact that we're wrapping up, a lot of us, we're wrapping up the end of a cycle, okay? And astrologically, Saturn is wrapping up his retrograde that was conjunct the South Node. So, and at this point, you know, when you get about a month away from that happening, that's when things can seem really, okay? Because Saturn and the South Node are not an easy energy to contend with. So we've got about a month, but this is when I feel like people are really starting to feel discouraged because, you know, we're waiting for shifts and things to happen, but what's going on now is that we're tying up old stories and loose ends so that we can move forward. And Saturn with the South Node is about things that we've believed in and we've held as like structure and permanent, dissolving away because they don't serve us in the next step. Okay, so everyone's going to have something of that go on for them. Could be relationship, could be the job, could be, there's so many different, it could be a family situation. Everyone has their own unique dharma and karma. And so Saturn, you know, used to be called the Lord of Karma. And so it's the end of a karmic cycle. And it can feel hopeless. So that's speaking to that. Spirals of manifestation is speaking to that. But we've got like about a month and then we start to build again. Okay, and then the second card is the Sacred Fool. I hope you can see that with the phone and the sun. I don't know. It's reflecting, isn't it? The card. Anyway, it's the Fool. I'm not going to read this entire passage. Some of these he just wants me to give you the brief overview. So this oracle brings you a message. It's time for you to play. It's time for you to let life happen in a completely unreserved, unscripted way. The more bizarre, left of field, unexpected, and apparently ridiculous, the better. This might not feel safe or appropriate at first. That's okay. That's good, actually. It's a sign that you are breaking with your own self-imposed conventions. It is time to move beyond them now because a bigger life adventure is calling to you. This is wonderful news. It is the desire of life to operate more radically through you so that you become the conduit through which miracles and crazy wild synchronicity can occur. You are becoming electric. You are more plugged into the apparent randomness of life. apparent because there is a refined intelligence behind it all. The sacred fool goes with this without having to understand any of it, which is good. Trying to access even one genuine glimpse of life's unfathomable genius would probably make one's head explode. As you take this journey, you might find that people around you are challenged. You might unintentionally cause them to rethink the way they live their lives. They may question whether the way they are living is the only way for them or even the best way. At first, they may react rather than take responsibility. The sacred fool in you doesn't engage with this. It is what it is, and it rises and falls as it will. It doesn't stop you from your merry dance of unconventional being. If you find yourself making choices, let's see. And then the advice that she gives is, I call on the sacred fool of unconditional love. Please help me access your lightness of spirit, your wisdom, and your ability to exist in the heart of truth, to be powerful without becoming attached to or obsessed by power. I honor your vision. May I see and know so truly and be free. I choose of my own free will to give myself absolute permission to just be myself, now and always, through unconditional love, mercy, and compassion. So be it. It says, stay on your path, stay on the journey. Remember to take nothing too seriously and also nothing personally. And it will all work out perfectly. Okay. And I know this card, I didn't understand this card. And then as I was reading the passage, I remember that there was a comment made by someone, and so many of you loved the comment, and so I don't think I'm going to say what it is, because I love the person that left the comment, and it's nothing negative. It's just about the question, like, what should I be doing? And so many people liked it, and so I'm sure that that's why he brought this card. It's, what do you feel? Is it better if I do that? You can see there's the earth. And she's wearing a men's tie and a men's dress shirt, and it looks like it fits her. So it's kind of like she's not really sure what she's doing, right? But it was, what do you feel? Okay. There are many opinions around you. Some are helpful, but others are distracting you from the truth. Although it can be helpful to hear the thoughts of others, when it all comes down to it, you will have to come to your own decision. Do you know how unique you are? How your path is your path to be chosen, lived, and created. Only by you? Someone else cannot become the source of your decision-making power without negative repercussions for both of you in the long run. This oracle comes to you because you have become swept up in thinking things through. You have been thinking about which way to go with the matter of importance, and you have got a bit stuck in the logic of the decision-making process. Sometimes we have to accept that any path is a path forward, and if it is not the best path, we can change our approach later on if needed. If we are slightly off base with the decision, life will shift and move us to guide us back on track. There is never a perfect, she's saying there is rarely ever a perfect choice to be made. The truth is that whatever choice you make is perfect, and there are varied choices, infinite choices. Sometimes we can only really know in hindsight if we made the best choice possible in that moment. I'm just looking at this, you guys. So I'm just going to talk about what he and I talked about. Okay, let's read this part. The oracle brings you this message. You are at a crossroads in your journey, and the choices you make at this time, even simply choosing to do things a little differently without much drama associated with the decision are powerful triggers for some great magic to enter your life. Take a different approach to something. Be open to that which makes you uncomfortable, but could be exciting and interesting. Even small adventures will yield big rewards right now. It matters less that you do the most wonderful thing ever, and more that you simply take an action from your heart. Open up to the creative magic of life. That's Leo, the sun, and all of you have a sun. And don't worry about how all of it is going to work out. Don't fall into that lower Mercury, lower Virgo of worrying, sweating the details. This is what the comment was. It was about like wondering what to do and just not doing anything because no one is saying, you know, do this, do that. No one's ever going to say that to you. There isn't this life plan that's mapped, that's scripted, is what Metatron is saying. There's nothing scripted. Obviously, everyone has, I know a lot of teachings of divine timings, and everyone has that. But your life is your choice, and what you want to create is what you'll create. And we did not come here just to work through karma and learn rough lessons, and we came here to create something. We're powerful, and we wanted to incarnate so that we could contribute something. And so whatever it is that you want to do, and if you don't think that there is anything that you love to do, then ask for a dream, ask for a sign, ask for a heads up from your higher self, and what it is that makes your heart happy, that makes you filled with love, that lights your heart on fire, sets your soul on fire. That's what it is that you came here to do. There's no right or wrong answer for what it is that you came to do. It's whatever you would like to do. Okay? And when we don't say to the universe, okay, this is what I'd like to create this, or I'd like to have this in my life, then once we take one step forward, the universe meets us more than halfway. But there needs to be an initiation. There needs to be, something put into play, even if it's a request. Like, what is it that I will find fulfilling? Or what is it that I'm very good at that people need? Or, there's so many things that, we used to think of before we grew up. Things that we enjoyed doing that we've forgotten about, a lot of us. So, and journaling always helps with that too. A lot of times when we're journaling, we can be channeling messages from our higher self. So that's a helpful way to do it. Really spending time in meditation is so important right now, just to have a sense of peace within us. But yeah, there's no right or wrong. It's when you think of doing this, how does that make you feel? When you think of doing that, how does that make you feel? And then just doing something to take a step forward. You might not end up where you think you're going. There might be a better goal that brings you more joy, that you find along the way down the path that you're going on, just like that first card was talking about. But taking a step, there isn't a wrong decision or a bad step to take. It's just taking that first step. Okay, and then against the grain. You want birds to be able to fly underwater. You want love to triumph over power. You want humanity to relate to each other as equals and to recognize the sacredness in you and in the world around you. You want to unleash the beauty that hides in even the ugliest of scenes or sentiments. You want to make possible what others say cannot be. You are a radical dreamer, a sacred rebel, and you bring the light of a more positive future to this world. Deep within, you may feel that you don't really fit in with the rest of the world. This might make you feel frustrated, thwarted, or lonely at times. The universe so loves you for your unusual take on things, loves you for your unusual take on things, for your quirkiness, and the part of you that dares to honor that which is different and renders the impossible possible. You must never lose your unusual ways. This oracle comes with a special message for you. You are someone who lives and breathes in the depths of creative waters. You need to lose yourself in the flow of music, nature, dreams, imagination, and fantasy through art and literature, meditation, dance, and in sensual surrender to the sacred waters of the ocean, the river, the lake, or the bathtub. You must go against the grain. It's just your way. You are not one of the followers, but one of the agitators. However, yours is not a force of disrespectful chaos. You are a loving catalyst, and by simply being yourself, you constantly remind people that there is always another way. This oracle comes with the particular guidance that you are meant to be exactly as you are. You are meant to be the black sheep, the rainbow sheep, or even the wild flock in the flock of sheep. Even the wild wolf in the flock of sheep. The daring butterfly spirit calling to the caterpillars, that is you. The price you pay for the gift of individuality is that you must take care of it and guard it so that you are not dulled down and conditioned into playing at being something that you are not. You will always dream of birds that can fly underwater. You know that the true nature of your being can never be changed. At most, it can only be hidden for a time. Now is the time to accept who you are and allow your truths to be freely expressed. Don't worry about the effects of going against the grain. When we are who we are in truth, we attract the support, protection, and energy that we need to thrive. Your power comes from aligning your outward self with your inner truth, not the general consensus. You then will find other dreamers, other wild butterflies, and atypically colored sheep to join you in conjuring better visions for our world. And then inner trust. And really going against the grain and being rebellious now is just really being kind and loving. That's what I feel like, don't you? I know it's not that bad out there because I see the way people relate to each other. Just running errands and people, we really do like each other. But it's different these days to not be the one who joins in a political argument or just doesn't get offended easily. That's like something new and different these days. Okay, and then inner trust. Though it may be cloaked and hidden, within you lies natural magnificence, vibrancy, and true uniqueness. The harder this is for you to believe, the more growth this oracle is offering you now. Your opportunity for growth lies in letting go of the need to hide yourself from the world and to let go of any doubt about the wonder of what lies within you. This oracle brings you the message that it is time for you to trust yourself and let the real inner you out from behind the veil. You are being assured that you can trust your intuition and your own sense of things. Sometimes what you sense will be love, and you will open your heart and move easily toward the source of that love, be it in the form of another person, a new career, a project which you care deeply about and want to pursue, or a spiritual or creative practice that you are keen to explore. Sometimes what you sense will be more challenging than this and will ask something different of you. It might be that you sense fear and sabotage lurking within someone's intentions or in the situations around you. This oracle asks you to trust yourself, to find the most authentic and self-loving way to deal with that. Perhaps you have drawn this card because you are unnecessarily holding yourself back out of fear or lack of belief in your ability to support and care for yourself, or in the importance of your need for self-expression in relationships. The oracle of inner trust comes to you with this guidance. You know what you are doing. You have enough wisdom and intuition to be able to place yourself more fully in the world, to take steps to unhide yourself. Even if you feel you have no clue about what is happening at a broader level in your life, even if you can't quite see the whole picture of what is taking place within or around you, you still have all the wisdom and intuitive ability you need to take one step at a time and navigate your way through absolutely anything that life brings to your door. If you have been thinking of taking a leap of faith and doing things differently, whether in your personal life or your creative work, then this oracle brings a particular message to trust your instincts and go for it. This oracle comes at a time when the patterns of your life are shifting. You can take advantage of this shift and leap into an entirely new level of consciousness and experience. This is not a time for self-doubt or playing small. It is a time to get in touch with the courage, boldness, and daredevil within, and to take that step, big or small, into the future that is beckoning you forward. You have the wings to fly. Sometimes we don't realize it until we leap over the edge of what we have known and begin to soar into a new life. That's awesome. That really reminds me of my 45th birthday when I jumped off that cliff and the wind caught me. It was a day that it was so windy that my son couldn't go because he's big. He's 6'2", and he was a football player at the time, and constantly worked out. He was a big guy, and none of the other guys, you have to do it in tandem, they couldn't support his weight. And I jumped off that cliff, and I had no idea. No idea. Yeah, Metatron said that lightning was about to strike. It sure did. And it was during that year, too. So, but I had no idea. And now, really, it's just amazing. It's amazing. And it didn't come like in one time. It was years of, please, God, please, desperate begging. So we're all shifting now, boy. We're all moving into something brand spanking new. And I think that the changes on the planet are going to become more intense, and that we need to find a way to make peace with that, each of us individually. It's not easy for me either. But I just decided like 2 days ago, a week ago, and this is good to share too. I don't know, a week or so ago, I was working with a client who I know pretty well, and we were doing all of these past life healings for a while, and we got to one, and she just was sobbing. She was in this past life, she was a man. She had been a religious figure, but she had been a good man. There are people in the church who are truly dedicated to serving God. I know that from my own experience. That there were, not just me. There were, a lot of people in the church around me that I grew up with who were people that genuinely loved God, loved Jesus, heard God, heard Jesus. And she had been one of those men. And that aspect of her who had been in that role was heartbroken because he had not enjoyed his life. He was so worried about, what am I doing for God? What am I doing for the church? Am I taking care of all of my responsibilities, Metatron is saying. And he's saying that he isn't recommending foregoing taking care of our responsibilities, but it's the way, it's the attitude and the way that we do it that informs whether or not we're happy and joyful. I've been changing diapers almost 24 years. Yeah, almost 24 years now. And it's not fun anymore. Quite a few years now. I've been saying, you know what? I'm really tired of this. Not that anything to do with the children involved, of course. But, I just decided a couple days ago, I'm just going to be happy. I'm going to wake up every day. I don't care what the Facebook feed says. I don't care what the news says. I'm not saying I don't care. Obviously, I care. But I'm not going to allow it to affect my mood and my energy, because I don't have that much of it, right? Like, I need to shore up the energy that I have and keep my vibration high, just like all of you do. And getting all, we have compassion without having to suffer. And let's just ask, let's close our eyes. I've been working with Sandalphon on people's earth stars a lot lately. A lot of people, like gaps in the root. Pretty much everyone has something going on there. So let's just ask Archangel Sandalphon to please release any sadness or sorrow. He's saying pent-up frustration due to policies and men in governments and all different governments. Women, men and women. We're just gonna have that released from us. He's going to strengthen the earth stars so that they're vibrating and resonating in the frequency of pure love without terms and conditions that would enslave us. Say yes if that's okay. I'm going to ask to be released from any obligations of having to do anything from the earth, and that you can choose to, obviously, and that you allow yourself to feel the healing and the pure love of the Creator that flows up from the earth. And he's saying, allow that to invigorate you, to refresh your energy. I got lots of shivers on that one. Okay, everybody, so it's 36 minutes. It's longer than I was hoping, but I just wanted to be up tonight. So hopefully this will get up right away. Anyway, guys, I'm in editing. It's Virgo season begins, and so does my editing in earnest. I've gone through the videos, but they need some tweaking, and I just haven't had time. I had surprise visits from children, which is awesome. But yeah, and so every time I thought, like, okay, I have this day. Nope, I didn't have that day. But anyway, everything happens exactly when it's meant to and how it's meant to. So let's all reminding myself and everyone else to keep that in mind these days. And I will make a video coming up shortly, probably Sunday, Monday, about September and Virgo season. And I'm excited. There's a lot of good stuff to share with that. Everybody really take care of yourselves. Really put yourselves first. Watch your vibration. Watch what you're ingesting. And much love to all of you guys. Bye-bye.